Pleasure. Welcome
Nice to
to
meet
the site of Chichen Itza. Everything you see is archaeological evidence.
Everything.
Everything.
Okay. How big is this site?
It's really hard to tell. We don't have a full map of the site.
I know it took thousands of people to build sites like Chichen Itza. The Maya Empire was massive, encompassing parts of southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and the Yucatan. Many people think the Mayans died out completely, but they didn't. Even so, something forced them to abandon their major cities beginning around 750 AD and spread throughout the region or beyond to the United States.
Oh, wow. You know, from this perspective, it's just like symmetric. It's perfect. The lines are perfect. That's amazing.
They were copying the shapes of the mountains.
So what we're looking at here is really a man-made mountain. It was intentionally made to mimic the mountains. I've recently been to a site in North America in the state of Georgia. And one of the things that we did that was amazing, and I haven't seen the final results yet, but I saw some preliminary data, was some technology called LiDAR, where basically you fly over an area and it will collect three-dimensional data of the topography of the area. And what we think we see are remnants of man-made structures at the site that are somewhat reminiscent of what we see here. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the possibility of contact with the Mayans here, possibly with native cultures in what is now the United States.
I think it's very possible.
Oh, you're saying that flat out. Okay, well, you agree with the speculation. If we really understand what the Maya did here, and if we really think there was contact, then what we do is take everything that we learn here and then use that as a guide to look for evidence over there.
Yes, yeah, I will agree. You can maybe find a Maya there, or you can find a Georgian down here. Well, this building that we have in front of us is the observatory, and it's been proven by astronomers that it's a structure that aligns the different positions of Venus and positions of the sun.
So those small little windows up there, they were used to track these planets, track Venus.
You know that this window aligns to this part of the year and this one aligns to this time of the year. But there is a connection between architecture, astronomy, and the calendar.
Well, this is part of a science we call archaeoastronomy.
Right. The other thing that we believe is that creating a building that has alignments with the planets and the sun, you are creating a link between heaven and earth. So the building is the link between the two.
In Georgia, I saw a spiral mound. I also saw a boulder that had spirals carved into it. So the spiral is very important. It crossed Georgia, and it seems to connect over here with the Mayans. So maybe that's another connection or piece of evidence we can tie together between the two cultures.
Yeah, I think it's a very strong element, and I think it's very important for the Maya too. It's in everything.
This is called a nautilus shell. It's the spiral design. We have something here called the Fibonacci sequence. And it's just simply a mathematical calculation where you add numbers sequentially and it will grow exponentially, creating, in this case, a spiral. Many ancient cultures saw this design, figured out the mathematics of it in nature, and then incorporated it into the architecture and into their artwork.
Oh yes, it's very important going to Maya. Buildings are designed in geometric proportions, and they're pleasing to the eye of the human.
We're getting very close to the end of the Mayan calendar, which is December 21st, which ironically happens to be my birthday. So, and many people think this is going to be the end of the world because of the Mayans.
We are ending the 12 Baktun. That means we're going to start the 13 Baktun during your birthday, and then we're going to spend 400 years more counting days until we get to the 14 Baktun. It's a marker for a new beginning. If the Mayans were here, it will be the biggest celebration you can think about. There will be offerings, there will be sacrifices, there will be ceremonies, because it's not the end, it's just the beginning of something new. But I think it's really important that the Mayans are getting some attention.
I couldn't agree more. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the carvings at your site here. And there was something that was found in Georgia.
I have seen similar carvings, or at least the head of the captive on this side. Yes, I think I can show you something similar at the site. You can tell that the person has some sort of a war instrument in his hand, like this one right here. Mm-hmm. He has also feathers in the back, like he has coming this way.
Right. Yeah.
But the most striking part is that there's a little head hanging from his left hand with the spears are. You can see that the head is almost identical to the one he has there, maybe a captive, maybe somebody who lost the war.
Really, everything that you talked about, I see here. This is pretty compelling, is it not?
But yeah, yes, I can see a relationship between the two sides.
I see a huge piece to a big puzzle of many cultures coming to North America prior to Columbus. And I think we can put the Mayans into that puzzle. And it just completely rewrites the history of North America as we know it.